Welcome to Profile Traders. This is Reza and you're listening to my market analysis for May the 22nd. And we are looking at the chart of S&P Emini futures here. And before I go into the details of the market profile chart, I'm going to bring a daily chart so that we can understand where we stand in the big picture. So what happened is that very recently market made a brief new high. Then upon an attempt to break into record territory, we stopped going up there and then retracted back down. So this was kind of a slight double top. And at that point I stated in my past video that the trouble was that as we were going up in this whole leg, there was very little sign of real buying coming in, as you can see it from the chart below. Then we came again, tested that level of 2405, and from that point again did a double top, which in reality, if we count all the tops, it was the third time that we were trying to test that level, and then we failed. And then as the news of this impeachment business and all the other craziness that goes on came out, market took a big dive down, and it came and tested and stopped exactly at the retest of this trend line from the past, which was containing the market within its congestion as a triangle. We tested that line. That's why it's always very good to let the past main trend line to project themselves into the future, and you keep them on your chart for a while, because as you can see, this time again it was a magnificent support once it touched it. And then from that point we have been going up non-stop. So now what happens is that we went from breaking a triangle contained from this highlighted line to the line below to entering what you call now a broadening or a megaphone formation, which is contained by a upper trend line up there, which is called the resistance line, and then this line down here. So imagine like the mouth of an alligator opening, the lower jaw and the upper jaw. So now we're gonna go and test and touch the upper jaw line up there, and that test will be very critical, because it is notorious that if you test several times the upper resistance line and you cannot break it, you're gonna get a violent swing down that could take it from one side of this pattern all the way to the other side, lower part of the pattern. And that's why you get this very wild, crazy swing within this type of broadening tops. And of course, if we are able to break this 2405, 2407, which was the most recent record all-time high, then obviously the reaction to the upside could become quite dynamic, because clearly whoever thought that it was a good idea to sell in May and go away is gonna lose his shirt, and all the sellers are gonna be rushed to cover. But keep in mind that as we are going to come and test this 2405, 2407, we will be reaching that level with already a very extended move to the upside that has initiated itself from this low here of 2344. And once we do reach up there at 2407, we will already have 60 plus point of a rally. So I do not give much of a faith nor weight when a level tries to break with already a very extended range behind it. a break off of a consolidation is a much better break than a break that tries to break with already 60 plus point behind it. So we shall see, but as long as we are within this formation, the two very important levels of support resistance in the long term are the touch of the line up there and the line down there. So have those on your daily charts and monitor them. Now on a micro level, we can see that we are already pushing down a little bit in the overnight, meaning that most of the push during the day session was algorithmic mumbo jumbo, very boring, very tight, very non-eventful, and now we are returning back down. We already retraced almost to the middle of today's day session range. If we do break this 2389.5, then I'm expecting that we should drop, test today's low. Anytime we do break the today's low of 2385, then we are going to come down, possibly hit this point of control. And then let's not forget that we do have a gap up open active at 2382, and then if this 2282 doesn't hold, my next level will be 2376.5. So these are all your support levels: 2389.5, 2385, 2382, 2376.5. As for the upside, obviously 2398, there is a POC up there, and then if we break that, very clear that we're gonna go for an attempt to break the 2405, 2407. Now let's take a quick look at crude oil. Crude oil also is starting to enter significant levels of resistance, and if you wonder why, because we are also on a daily basis getting close to retesting the main trend line down. So maybe another buck into it, but as soon as we do reach near 52 level, we should start to hit a strong resistance line highlighted by the trend line down. Now, because we have gone up from almost 44 straight to 51, which is kind of a crazy, without any kind of a pullback, any moment, any given time, we could see a session where we're gonna get some profit taking and some retrieve from this current 5-6 points of a push up. For this to happen, clearly we will have to break below 50.75. If we break 50.75, I'm expecting next level of support to be at 50.5, and past 50.5, 50 even. And of course, if 50 breaks, then we have to reassess, because we are going then to be in a leg of a more severe correction against the 5 or 6 points of a rally that we have already put into place this past few sessions. But for now, 50.74, 50.5, and then 50. Keep in mind that tomorrow after the close, 4:30, you have the rig count, and then Wednesday we're gonna have the inventory numbers. Also very important to keep a close eye on what the chart of euro is doing. Since this brutal drop of the dollar versus the euro, that's exactly the same time when you have seen a reversal in crude. So if they start to take some profit and the dollar starts to rally and the euro starts to come down, that will technically start to pressure crude to the downside. So as usual, thank you for listening. If you wish to learn market profile, take advantage of the package I'm offering. You can get all my 5 courses, 1 year to the trading room at a fee of $550, 30 days money back guaranteed, from my website profiletraders.com. Good luck, and to the next time.